Hey there, a very happy Sunday, happy Father's Day, happy first day of summer. I'm King 5 meteorologist Ashley Ruiz with an extended look at your forecast. We have a lot of things happening this week, a lot happening with our weather pattern as well. We are cranking up the heat Monday, Tuesday. The hottest day will be Tuesday. Wednesday will start to cool things down, but we all won't feel it until about Thursday, and I'll explain coming up. But we have showers returning to the forecast later in the week, so a big weather pattern flip. And we have two World Cup matches here, Wednesday and Friday. Stark difference from Wednesday's match versus Friday's match. And I'll take a deep dive into everything you need to know. But there is a heat advisory that kicks in 11 a.m. on Monday, and this includes everywhere except you see the Pacific beaches, and it includes all of Puget Sound, the Southwest Interior, the islands. Now it is going to go through Tuesday night for the Olympic Peninsula, Southwest Interior, Northwest Interior, essentially from Skagit County northward, including the islands. That's through Tuesday night. But for the North and Central Sound and its foothills, so from about Snohomish County to Pierce County, that's going to go through Wednesday night. And the reason why is because onshore winds going to take some time to get here. So that's why the coastal areas and the Southwest Interior, that goes through Tuesday night, because it will be cooler by Wednesday. And again, I'll explain. But when we're talking onshore flow versus offshore flow, offshore winds, we're going to get that as we head into Monday. A thermal trough is going to develop, or a thermal low, right over Puget Sound, essentially, right over the interior areas. And the offshore flow is going to help bring us hotter conditions, and that's going to bring us lower humidity, helping dry out our fuels even further, and we're going to have that potential for fire danger, elevated fire danger. But when we're talking about onshore flow, that's when we get the cooler air from the Pacific, and that's typically when we get that marine push, morning clouds, and then cooler temperatures. And so that will return, but more so into the back half of the week. The coast could stay on the cooler side. That's likely why we don't have that heat advisory for the beaches. But the onshore flow will return starting Wednesday, but more so for the coast. By Thursday, it reaches Puget Sound. So let's talk all about it. The weather team issued a first alert weather day Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to go with that heat advisory. Even though we'll start to cool things off here in Seattle by Wednesday, at least compared to Tuesday, the heat advisory will continue because the hot daytime temperatures and then the very little relief from the heat overnight. But then Thursday and Friday, that's when things really begin to change. We'll reintroduce shower chances to the forecast. And so again, a big difference from Wednesday's match versus Friday's match. So that's also why we've issued first alert for Wednesday, just because a lot of people will be out and about going to the match here in Seattle. Let's take a look outside where we have beautiful conditions, blue sky with some passing clouds, the marine layer still in full force over the beach because of those onshore winds, the onshore flow. So the coast will be cooler today because we still have the influence of onshore flow right by the coast. So again, that's why we have 60s there, but then interior areas low and mid 70s. And so it is going to be a little cooler through the strait, the Northwest Interior and islands, because still seeing the onshore winds. Here, not so much. We're cutting off that natural AC and temperatures will start to warm things up. If you're headed out on the water today, it's really going to be a nice day, pretty calm. North winds 5 to 10 knots. Keep in mind the air temperature is hot, the water temperature is not. Lake Washington about 69 degrees as of this morning with the buoy data coming in. Lake Sammamish about 70 degrees. So we're getting to those warmer waters, but still cold water shock is a big deal and a big problem this this time of year. We've had some reports of drownings, and so that's why you want to take it easy. Always wear a life jacket, travel with a friend, and keep any swimming to a minimum, or keep it minimal, because of, especially in rivers and then Puget Sound. Again, the colder the water, obviously the more dangerous it will be. Great out on the trails today. This is a look at the forecast for about 3,000 feet, so Snoqualmie Pass level. High temperatures will be near 70 in Snoqualmie Pass, and for Stevens Pass, a little cooler, but still in the 60s. Really going to be a good day for hiking. And today's UV index at that 8, so that is very high. And so burn time, typically when we have a UV index about 8, the burn time could be about 30 minutes, as little as 30 minutes, because again, with it being so high, so you will want to apply and reapply if you're going to the Mariners game, or you have any watch parties that you're going to for World Cup matches, or taking dad out, because we have a lot going on this time of year. Overnight temperatures are starting to go up, but you see mid-50s for much of the area, so not a lot of relief from today's heat, even though it's going to be warm, not hot. As we know, temperatures are relative, so temperatures compared to tomorrow going to be cooler, versus tomorrow we're heating things up when that heat advisory begins to kick in. So highs upper 70s to lower 80s for the North Sound and Northwest Interior, mid and upper 80s for much of Puget Sound, the coast, Hoquiam 74, and around 81 in Quileute. Then we turn the page to Tuesday. That thermal trough is just sitting over the area. We'll get at least some weak push of offshore winds, offshore flow. That's going to help heat us up even further. And then we'll have lower 80s, maybe some mid 80s, essentially for the Cascade foothills all the way to the north. So mid and potentially upper 80s there, upper 80s to about 90, as you see from Seattle southward, including the Cascade foothills and valleys. But then Wednesday, I mentioned that the heat advisory is extended into Wednesday for North and Central Sound. I wouldn't be surprised if the trends continue this way, depending on how quickly we get that marine push again for the Southwest Interior and South Sound. We'll see if those areas will also be placed under the heat advisory, but either way, it's going to be toasty for Puget Sound, but cooler than you compare it to Tuesday. So all in all, Tuesday will be the hottest day. The World Cup forecast, again, Wednesday at noon, 81, perhaps upper 70s to about 80. That's at kickoff. But then big change on Friday, Egypt versus Iran at 8 p.m. and temperatures may only be in the low and mid 60s with shower chances. As we get closer, we'll be able to fine-tune the forecast, the timing of any showers, but just know we'll have showers returning to the forecast. So today we'll have some passing clouds at times. Monday, mostly sunny. We'll likely get some more passing clouds into Tuesday. So you see, this is Tuesday afternoon. If we get some thicker clouds moving in, that could also help limit our warming. Then we get into Wednesday and we'll get that push of onshore winds. By Thursday, we all feel it. And the latest European model is picking up on the potential for rain moving in as early as Thursday night. But then we get into Friday afternoon. You see scattered showers and maybe another push of rain into Saturday. And over the next 7 days, this is just an estimate, but beneficial rain, potentially a half of an inch or greater for the coast, which is typical, up in the Cascades perhaps as well, which would be a good thing for our fuels. In the lowlands, though, maybe about a quarter of an inch, a tenth of an inch, or a couple of tenths of an inch, maybe a close to quarter of an inch or so for some spots, but a lot of areas will get minimal rain, at least accumulating rain. But either way, this would be our first rains, accumulating precipitation or measurable rain in almost 2 weeks. So anything will help at this point going into the hotter months. But it's going to be hot. Yes, we've been hot, and it's already felt like summer for quite some time. But once again, first alert weather days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we start to cool things down into the end of the week. And beyond the 7-day forecast, temperatures may be in the 70s. We may have some warmer days versus others, but it does appear as though a more cooler weather pattern or average seasonal weather pattern may settle in. So remember, you can always find the latest forecast and a deep dive into the forecast like this one every day on King 5 Plus, actually twice a day from our team of meteorologists. And you can find that on King 5 Plus as well as on our YouTube page, king5.com, and the free King 5 app.